Hello, welcome to She Boss Talk. I'm back. I am Shantae R. Roddy. Do come on in. We're coming on today with a breaking news, right? With stimulus updates and news reports for all you entrepreneurs and small business owners who continue to need relief for yourselves, your families, and your small businesses. A lot of important to get to today. So I'm going to get to them shortly. I just want to welcome you all in. So as you're joining in, just let me know who you are, where you're hailing from, what your business is. Do give this video a thumbs up. Hit that love button so more people will be able to see this video. Do share out because we know sharing is caring. There's still so many millions of business owners that need relief, y'all. There's millions of business owners that still need relief. We're still in a pandemic. So we want to make sure that you get the information, the education, and the resources and tools you need so that you can thrive in your business. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm coming on with these updates. If you have not subscribed already, do subscribe. We just thank you all for your support. All of those that are subscribed to the channel, we're over 22,000 at this point, but we have a goal to get to 50,000. So will you help us get to 50,000? So we've helped you. If you could help us get to 50,000 subscribers, that would be great. And again, continue to share this great information. We continue every day to get great testimonials, great reports back from those of you that are sharing the information, and people are actually getting connected to what they need in order to survive and thrive during this time. So I'm glad that this channel can be a resource for you all and your peers and your family and your friends. So we have a lot to cover. There's some big news, especially regarding the Restaurant Revitalization Grant. I know the last update that I made, I told you I was going away for business and taking a little break. So I'm back from that. That was great. So I'm back to the grind, back to working, making sure that we can still be of help to you all. So there are a lot of big news regarding the SBA programs, but I'm first going to start. Those are not the only programs. You all, as yourselves, your families, there's other stimulus programs that are being rolled out that are having updates. So I want to make sure that I include those in today's video as well. So I want to start out by just reviewing the child tax credit that is a big credit for all of you all with children. If you have children, just let me know in the comments. Let me know how many children you have. I love to hear about it because this is going to be big for a lot of families are going to be able to take advantage of this tax credit. Now they're preparing to roll this out July the 15th. The IRS recently just opened up the non-filer portal. So for those of you, even we have business owners here, entrepreneurs, but if you know someone who is a non-filer, does not have to file their taxes on an annual basis, they need to know about this portal so they can take advantage of the tax credit. Now through the portal, they will have an opportunity to update their information. So we know, like when they rolled out the stimulus checks, they have a portal, allow you to make sure your information is updated and accurate so you're getting your money quickly. Say this is the same scenario here with the non-filer portal. Is now open. The links to this and other resources, as always, is in the description and the show notes, and I will pin them to the comments after the conclusion of this broadcast. So that portal is open. Now, the other portal for those that are filers will be open by the end of this month. Again, this is all in preparation for the July 15th launch of the child tax credits. This is when the IRS will begin depositing money into your accounts, right? And then you will have the option to opt out if you choose to just wait till next year to file your taxes and get the full credit there, or you can get the partial payment now through the end, beginning July 15th through the end of the year, and then get the balance of that when you file your taxes. Is up to you. It's your choice. The monthly payments they're giving is really to help stimulate the economy, make sure that you all have money in your accounts so that you can pay your bills, put food on the table, spend money on the economy. So that is where we are with the child tax credit. So that is moving quite quickly. they already began sending out letters, right, to like 36 million households, letting you all know that this is anticipated, that this program is getting ready to roll out. So you're not surprised when you get money. Wouldn't that be a nice surprise to get money in your bank account? You're like, what is this? Okay, so but you want to know what it is, and so you should have gotten a letter to say that you are potentially eligible for this program. Now today, June 21st, is this is the Child Tax Credit Awareness Day. This is where the White House is actually stepping up outreach for this program to make sure every eligible American is aware that this is coming down the pipeline and that they may be eligible, and to anticipate that this will be coming. This is especially good for those of you all that are currently on unemployment. We know a lot of states, half the states are withdrawing from the unemployment program. So we know so many Americans, including self-employed, will be stripped of their unemployment benefits and their additional $300 a week benefits as well. So this, for those that have children, can be a buffer in that regard, because I was looking at some of the reports, and one of the reports out of Georgia was stating that one of their members that are on unemployment only has 88 cents in their bank account and being stripped of all their unemployment. So, you know, that's very sad. So we want to make sure that you all know different alternative relief programs that are out there to help support you and your family. So that is a child care tax credit. Now, one other thing that you may not be aware of. So for those of you that have children at a young age and you pay child care expenses. So as a part of filing your taxes, you know, every year you can take a max of $6,000 as a deduction on your taxes. Well, they have increased this amount, and it is fully refundable on your taxes when you file next year. So you want to just take note, make sure your tax preparers are aware of this, because this is a huge benefit for those of you that have children. We know childcare is expensive. We know that childcare has been a barrier to many, especially women, going back into the workplace. Many have left the workplace. And you know, trying to balance childcare and work is very challenging, and the cost is very expensive. So you will be able to get a tax credit for one child of $8,000, and for multiple children, the max tax credit is $16,000. $16,000. So if you pay childcare expenses, let me know in the comments. So for children, these are two huge benefits that are coming your way. So just take note of that. But this, the childcare payment tax credit you will be able to take that on your taxes when you file for 2022. Okay. So let me just go back. I briefly mentioned on unemployment. 25 states are withdrawing. I mentioned this before. If you're on unemployment, please let me know if your state has already issued you a letter, if they've already notified you of the date that they have withdrawn. I believe in Ohio, they've already done it. I know if they haven't already, they're doing it this month. June is the cutoff date. Half of the states are withdrawing from the pandemic unemployment benefits. These are the benefits that are funded by the federal government, right? So anyone that did not qualify for traditional unemployment, like those that are self-employed, those that are small business owners, that means that it is coming to an end for all of you all that are to continue to be on unemployment. There's people that continue to file, right? So you would just be able, if you have not maxed out for the traditional, and then all the additional $300 per week, and for some of you all, $400 a week is going to be terminated as well. So that's a hard hit. Like I said, where we have one person saying that they only have 88 cents in their account, and they're relying on that their unemployment benefits. Unemployment is not a lot. You know, those traditional benefits it's not like it's a huge income, you know, but they make you think that, right? So basically they're doing this because it seems like they're putting the blame on people that were forced into this position, and saying that it's your fault that, you know, small business owners or businesses can't get their employees back. That really is not the case. So they're really overlooking the fact that we're still in a pandemic, and the significant impacts on the entire economy, and how the economy works, how businesses were structured, how people have actually exited certain industries, and it's hard to get back into those industries when you then factoring in childcare, factoring in health issues, taking care of other family members that are affected with the COVID-19. So to say to focus solely on, you know, is the people that's on unemployment fault. So let's snatch their benefits, and then that is automatically going to create jobs or have small business owners get their positions filled. I think that that's short-sighted, and that is not the entire problem. And it's going to have repercussions, because them withdrawing from these programs is also affecting every state's economy in itself. So, you know, that's a huge disappointment. But if you're on unemployment, what I continue to say is advocate for yourself. I will be calling, you know, my local leaders left and right, letting them know, like, what are you all doing? Like, do you know that this is affecting me and my household? You're snatching. Why? So you're punishing us. And again, even if you have recovered, or you're getting to the point where you're able to, you know, recover some, you're talking about a year and a half at this point that we've been impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Everybody forcibly into quarantine, to stay at home, to change the way that we live. So again, sometimes I think that they don't think about these types of things, and then the lasting impacts on that. So, you know, COVID-19 is not over. We're still in a pandemic, and I hope they eventually get that and know that, you know, while they're snatching these benefits, we still need more relief. There's still more relief that's needed. But again, trying to get, you know, the parties, the leaders to understand that and then take swift action is challenging, but we have to keep moving forward. We have to keep using our voice, using our power, advocating for ourselves to get the relief that we all need. So that's the unemployment benefits. Now I'm going to go right into the restaurant revitalization grant program. This has been a hot topic. I mentioned this before I went away for my trip, is that the SBA has been subject to several lawsuits in regards to the Restaurant Revitalization Fund, okay, this grant program. So the last video I did, I stated 3,000 awardees have had their awards rescinded. They're on hold, okay? And that is devastating for a lot of businesses that were counting on that money. Like, every day is like a day that you may go out of business. We just don't know where these businesses are relying on this money. You're told that you've been awarded, and now it's been rescinded. Why? Because of rulings in the state of Tennessee and the state of Texas. There were 3 businesses. These are white male-owned businesses that filed lawsuits because of the 21-day period in which the applications that were being processed were those for women, veterans, minorities, and those from disadvantaged communities. So for the 3,000, and so they sent out letters to the 3,000 who awards were rescinded or on hold, let's just say that. And so this is impacting not only your grant awards, but the other applications that are in the pipeline as well. So we already know this is really an issue. It's not even so much as the 21-day period for the targeted applicants, right? Is that the program was underfunded in to begin with, okay? It was underfunded. So basically what this means is that those those that are in the non-priority after the 21-day period didn't even have a chance because it was already underfunded, and so many more people applied to the program than they had funding even to begin with. So with that said, there is a bill that has co-sponsored by bipartisan support to add $60 billion more to the pot, and this is in hopes to kind of relieve some of the challenges with this program because again, this is creating delays. So all these legal challenges delay the program and the SBA's ability to process and distribute awards. Now, my understanding is these three businesses that did file the lawsuits, they have their money. Now, for those 3,000 of you, now, if you're one of the 3,000 that received your award, please let me know in the comments. My understanding based on the SBA administrators' statements last week, you will get your money after they process all the application of the non-priority applicants. That's if they have money left. That's if it's not exhausted. Now, with that said, of the $28.6 billion that is available for grants, there is only $1.2 billion that remains. Okay, so what does that tell you? They need more money. They need more money. So the National Restaurant Association, if you are in, this is the grant that is for restaurants and food and beverage. Those are that in food and beverage industries. Really, it ran the gamut. So really, if you have a business and people come to you to pay for your food, your snack, your drink, then you would have qualified to apply for this program. But again, way more applicants than they have funding. And right now, there's a big push for this new bill to provide this $60 billion additional dollars to process all the applicants. But again, we don't know how quickly that is going to happen. We already know that SBA is slow moving. And then with these litigations going on, is making it even slower and holding up the applications from being processed. So that means all the other ones that were in the priority, you're no longer a priority. That means, and so I'm saying to myself, okay, so now they're processing the non-priority filers, and now you're in wait, you're in holding. Oh, Lord. Okay, so the National Restaurant Association, other advocates are calling for the SBA to they're actually calling for the SBA to take from other funds to give to these the 3,000 that have already been awarded. They have not received a response. Don't know if they're going to do that. Don't know if they even have authority to move monies from one program to another. I'm sure if they do that, there's a process that they have to go through, but there is a call for them to do that. The National Restaurant Association is also calling for states, the mayors, the governors, and other legislature to establish state-ran grant programs. Now, I know here in Ohio, they already have that included in the grant that they're getting ready to roll out, which I hope is soon. I hope it's this month, because businesses are still waiting. They're still suffering. There's still businesses closing. But I know as part of the monies here, restaurants are included. And I know many other state grant programs, restaurants are also included. Usually they have a grant carved out in the program specifically for the restaurant businesses, the restaurant industry. So we know that restaurants is hard hit, really needing funding right now. I've been able to help a lot of restaurant owners. So if you know businesses that really need funding now, they need capital now, we can help them. I'm an independent agent with David Allen Capital. I have been helping several businesses every single week to get funded. Minimum credit score of 450. You need to have 5,000 a month coming in. You need to have a business bank account, because people ask me all the time, can I be, sole proprietor? As long as you have a business bank account, a 450 credit score, and you have generating sales in your bank, account of 5,000 or more, you can qualify. So just check, the link is in the comment. Bank Breezy is our new program. Get funded today up to $25,000. So this is what I say can fill in the gap while you're waiting. You still need funding, right? You need money to operate, to pay your bills, to pay staff. Those of you that are doing well, you're trying to grow, you had equipment that broke down, or you need new equipment. You need funding, capital to be able to do that. Now, I'm going to be doing another video this week specifically on that. Like, why is capital important for small businesses? It's the number one reason businesses fail, even outside of having a pandemic. So that tells you capital is very important. And right now, for the restaurant industry, they already operate on tight margins. So they need funding to be able to sustain themselves. So their call is for states to roll out grant programs. They have federal monies, been given federal dollars to be able to fund these programs. So call on your state to get these programs in place. Even if you're not a restaurant owner or in the food beverage industry, if your state does not have a grant program right now, if they have not had one at the state, I'm talking about the state government level, you need to be calling your governor. You need to be calling the state business agency and asking them what is going on, and tell them about your business. Tell them about your story. You all send me your stories all the time. I mean, I have like 5 of them sitting in my email right now. Just powerful stories and testimonials of perseverance and resilience. And you need to be telling these stories to the leaders, the ones that are the decision makers, the ones that need to take action on your behalf. Tell them your story. Let them know that you matter. Okay. So that is the Restaurant Revitalization Fund. Again, I'm so disappointed and frustrated along with you all that, again, there's a delay. This was money you were counting on, hopeful for, but not all hope is lost. But I know people that were saying if they didn't get this, they don't know. They're about to lose their lease. They're going to have to close down their restaurant or their business. And we just don't want that to happen. So that's why I tell you about other programs as well, other resources. But with the SBA, a lot of these programs are really slow moving, and they need to really pick up the pace. So I'm going to talk next about the Paycheck Protection Program. Really, at this point, there's still many. There's still a couple million, at least hundreds of thousands, if it's not a million already, still in the pipeline, waiting to be approved. Been approved, waiting on funding, been in funding status, still been in funding status. But I continue to get updates from my peers that they are continuing to get processed. So if you have applied for the Paycheck Protection Program funding, let me know what your status is in the comments. Shout out to one of our peers. Her name is Felicia. We're actually doing a collaboration together on a grant program, but she got her PPP forgiven. So if you have received funding, this is where you want to make sure that you're spending at least 60% on payroll related expenses. Those that are self-employed, you can use 100% of it on your salary replacement. I have videos on how to do that. I have videos on what expenses that you need to spend the money on, because they are specific. All these programs are specific on what you can spend the monies for, and you need to stick within those guidelines. Okay. And at this point, you need to be working on forgiveness. So my understanding is that the SBA is working on further streamlining the process. But for those that have paid forgivable Paycheck Protection Program loans of $150,000 or less, the application is relatively simple. It has been streamlined. It's just a matter of making sure that you are within the 8 to 24 weeks. This is not money you just hold on to. You have to spend it. Make sure you keep, your records, your documentation. The best way to do that is to use an accounting system or transferring monies. Make sure you're categorizing them, have a memo on them. Make sure that you save your bank statement. If you're one that has a personal account, you don't have a business account, and I don't know. It's hard to, when you commingling your business money and personal money. It's not only hard for you to keep track, it's hard for the government to keep track if they come and ask you about it. So for those of you using your personal accounts, my recommendation is to save your bank statements, the ones that you have that where you receive the Paycheck Protection Program money. So that way you know when it came in, how much it was, and then you can match it against what you're spending in your personal account. But I said I recommend that you move it from one account to another. And the easiest way to do that is have a business account and move it into your personal account with your name on it. That is for your salary replacement. So I know people still have questions related to that. So we have explainer videos on all of this to explain how we do it, what our recommendations are, to make sure that you get 100% forgiveness, because that's what you want. This program is not an automatic forgiveness. You actually have to go back to your lender and apply for forgiveness. So I'm actually tracking that right now for my PPP loans for when they open up, because lenders are at different stages in the process. Some, they open them for a period, they close them for a period, they process a certain group, then they close it, then they reopen it. It just depends on who your funder is. It's easier if you have a relationship with your bank or your funder. Is just a lot more, it's a lot easier, but we know a lot of people, especially those that are, sole proprietors, like independent contractors, gig workers, primarily went through fintech companies or other companies like Cabbage and Womply, and the customer service isn't all that great. Knowing what to do or getting a response has been slow to none for a lot of you all. So, but don't quit. Continue to follow up, and they should actually have something on their website. Even if you Google it from your lender and just say, lender's name, PPP forgiveness application, and it may pull up a portal or pull up information on one of their landing pages on the process. So you definitely want to know the process and when you can apply. Okay. So that's the paycheck. I have not heard anything at all, not a peep about them reopening the program. I know Womply was still accepting applications with the hopes that they will reopen it. I have not heard anything about them reopening the Paycheck Protection Program at this point. But there's many of you that are still in the process. So again, let me know where you are. If you're having any specific challenges, still, I know people are stuck. I mean, I did a video on how to get unstuck from the process. So if you have not seen the videos at your leisure, I highly recommend. They're free to go check them out. And it would definitely help you get hopefully help you get over the hump. Because sometimes you're thinking it is the lender or it's the SBA that's holding up the process, and it's not. It could be something you're doing or not doing that is keeping you stuck in the process. So you want to know what those things are. Like I did a video on the top denials, of the SBA programs and the PPP loans, reasons why you would be denied, held up. I did a scam video. Your application could be under investigation. There's a lot of people like that. Or you're trying to get a grant, but you never qualified for the program. You're trying to get an increase and you never qualified for the program, or there's a discrepancy in the information you reported because either you or someone you hired to do it didn't report correctly. Okay. These systems, they talk to each other. I mean, so some of you all don't know that that's the situation you're in, but that's the situation that you're in. Really quickly, SVO, this is the Shuttered Venue Operators Grant. They're still accepting applications. That program, the slow part of the program is actually distributing the funds to those that have applied. They're still, again, one of the hardest hit industries, live performances. If you have a live performance venue, cultural arts center, museum, this is the grant for you. If you know someone who fits this, please let them know to apply for it while it's still open. This is a $16 billion program. I'm hopeful that they have moved past the 50 that they distributed because they had only funded 50 people, 50 applicants under the program. And so there was big concern, not only throughout the industry, but from Congress members that are on the small business committees as to why the program is being why the funding is rolling out so slowly. And that's a more complex application process for the Shuttered Venue Operators Grant Program, but it's still worth doing. The monies are still available, so I would encourage you and your peers to apply for that program. Now, I was going to share my screen. I don't think I'm going to do that, but I was looking at the latest report. Like I said, every week I look at the SBA's news releases, what they have coming out, and their reports on the different programs. We know some of these are slow moving. Someone reached out to me about increases. They've been waiting like months. So if you have applied for an increase of your SBA EIDL loan, please let me know in the comments where you are in that process. Have you received your increase? If you're waiting, how long have you been waiting? And what are they saying as far as the process? And I know the process is very slow because they have additional protocols in place, and they only have so many people right on staff. They hire contractors to help support, to review all the information. They're doing the matching with the IRS, and we already know that the IRS is backlogged, right? And so that 4506T is holding probably many of you all up on your increases, as well as your targeted EIDL grants or advances. Advances and grants are the same. It's the same terms. Okay. Many of you all there are some of you that have watched my previous video that earlier in 2020, where I walked through the EIDL loan, applying for the EIDL loan program, when the advance was in place. So I went back and reviewed some of the comments and responded. Please know that it's a new program that the old EIDL advance grant closed. They reopened. They opened the targeted EIDL grant program. Title advance, targeted advance, or grant is another term. That is free money that does not have to be paid back. So if you in your portal, you would actually see that it says your EIDL loan, your EIDL grant, then it would say denied or what you got, right? If you got partial, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, then it will say targeted EIDL advance, and then it will say supplemental targeted EIDL advance. They're still slow moving. So my understanding is 1.6 million have applied for targeted grants. Now I will tell you, there are still many of you all that have not applied. They sent out the invites. It's by invite only. Apply. You had to have applied from December 27th, 2020 or prior. My understanding is that the SBA sent out a letter or email to 500,000 2021 applicants to the EIDL loan program to allow you all to apply. While they're still processing round one, phase one applicants, right? Phase one applicants are those that received a partial EIDL grant last year. Like I said, maybe 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. You were in the first wave. There's still phase one. Phase two are those that didn't get any money, like myself. They're still processing those as well. And they're processing supplemental grant applicants. That's so once you've been approved, or now the newer applicants, once you apply, if you're applying now, when you apply for the targeted EIDL grant, you can apply for the supplemental at the same time. There's a little line, a checkbox that says, I want to be considered for the supplemental grant. You must check that if you want to be considered for the extra 5,000, which would give you a maximum of 15,000. Okay, so if you're new to this or hearing about this, go check your emails, your inbox, your spam folders, your promotional folders. And if you see that email by the SBA, it will be by SBA.gov, either their disaster customer service or targeted advance .sba.gov. It will always be .gov, but go check that out. Now, my understanding is that they processed 22,000 last week. And those of you that applied in February that were kind of stuck in this like abyss, like your applications were not moving. My understanding is some of you were in there. So if you were approved or funded for your targeted EIDL grant, please let me know in the comments, and congratulations to you all. But they're still processing these applications, right? So they have all of these different phase one, phase two, and supplemental grant. And I know they sent out the letters for those that applied in 2021. If you're one of those, let me know. I have not seen any official statement, though, that they have expanded it. But I know that Administrator Gunsman said that they were opening it to a broader group, because there's still plenty of money left. Still billions left, and under this program for you all to be able to get access to. So we're hopeful, and people are still advocating for them to remove the low income requirement. We're still pushing. There's petitions on change.org to get everybody their $10,000 grant, or the balance thereof, for everyone that applied in 2020 that checked the box that said that they wanted the EIDL advance, regardless as if they're in a low income community or they're in if they have a 30% decrease or not, because that was never part of the initial requirements under the law. That is something they put into place, again, a more targeted approach, which, the SBA has gotten backlash for. But, the law said everyone that applied had a successful application, legitimate application, should get $10,000, and they didn't do that. They parsed it out. So, but many of us now are able to get that full $10,000 or balance thereof, and then an additional $5,000 supplemental grant. And now for the supplemental, it's $5 billion allocated for that. And I know for the targeted, there's still 20, maybe a little shy of 20 billion, because they just reached 1 billion that they funded. Yeah. So there's still plenty of money left. So make sure that you do apply. If you're having challenges, if you've gotten funded to the funded stage and you have that bank issue, I did a video on that as well. If you've gotten funded and it says error, that is an issue with your bank. It could be any number of issues with verification. If the SBA cannot verify your bank account, you will not be able to get your money. This happened the last time, okay? They have to be able to verify your bank account, so it should not be in anybody else's name. You shouldn't have just up and closed your bank account while you're applying for this program, but we know people do. That's why they allow you, when you apply, when they send you the email invitation, you will have an opportunity to update your information, whether that is your business address, whether that's your bank account information. That is your opportunity to update your information at that point in time, and make sure that you provide the correct information. Someone had asked me about addresses. So let me clarify for a lot of people, especially for those that are solopreneurs, gig workers, independent contractors. When they're looking at your address, it is your business address. Not you went and you worked for a contractor somewhere, you're not using their address. So if you're a 1099 contractor and you're working for 5 different contractors, you're not using their address. You are considered a home-based business. If you're a gig worker, you are considered a home-based business. And therefore, you will use your home address, is your business address. I have multiple businesses, but I have a virtual business. My business is from home. I use my home address. You're not going to use your address where you park your, if you're a gig worker, you're using the address where you park your vehicle on a regular basis. And usually that's your home. Okay. So I just want to make sure that's clear, because that's not clear for a lot of people, because they ask me about all these different scenarios, and the mapping is based on your business address. And the SBA is they use their map, so you want to look at it against their map. If you feel like you were denied based on your location and you are in a low income community, you have the ability to request a reevaluation. If you're denied for any reason, I would encourage you to request a reevaluation. Same if you have applied for the EIDL loan and were denied. There's still so many of you were denied and you never went back and requested a reconsideration. Okay, so we have resources on our website. I actually have templates to help you get approved, to overcome those denials. Many people have done it. Just because you're denied does not mean you can't overcome that denied to get approved. And you can file a reconsideration multiple times. What I would encourage you to do is make sure you understand why you were denied, and then have the evidence to back up and prove why you should be approved. Don't just file reconsideration. And again, you don't want to do this blindly. You want to have some guidance so that you get approved. That's the goal, right? To get approved so you can get your funding, you get your loan, you get your grant. It's reconsideration for the EIDL loan, is reevaluation for the EIDL grant. Two different departments. And in your letters, your emails, the email and the numbers are in your correspondence. So it's up to you to save your correspondence that you receive from the SBA. Okay? I save all my correspondence because if anything happens, and it often does, I have a record. I have an audit trail. I have a history of correspondences or actions, decisions that were made, phone calls that were had, dates. I have a notebook. So, that those things are very important. And through the process, you have to take a proactive, you have to be active and not passive in it. And if you have not heard on the status of anything in weeks and months, you need to be picking up the phone. And I can't attest to lenders, but the SBA, I have never had a problem getting through to the department. Okay. I've never had a problem. And my grant was processed pretty quickly. The grants were, and I called them. So I just pick up the phone. Okay, so that's the targeted EIDL grants. Again, you must be in a low income community as defined by the IRS. You must be able to demonstrate a 30% decrease or more or higher based on your revenues in a period in 2020 compared to that same period in 2019. That is the only way you can get approved. So there's many of you all, you submitted an application, you did it incorrectly. So what you want to make sure is you go to the video where I explain how to properly to fill out the form that they're going to give you when you apply. It's a table, and you must account for your sales for each month of every year from 2019 to today, the current date based on whenever you're applying. Okay, so all your sales, what did you make? And then, so I have to clarify this as well. This is not obvious to a lot of people, especially those that really are not treating their business as a business. Okay, you are not going to put in any unemployment income. You're not going to put in any other grants that you received. This is all they're asking for are your gross sales. What did you make in your business? If it was zero, put zero. If you made 5,000, put 5,000. If you made if you made 5,000 in February 2019 and you made 5,000 February of 2020, or if you made 1,000 in 2019 and 5,000 in 2020, whatever you made, you should have records. Everybody should have records. I mean, if you're using, I can't attest for those that use Cash App because I don't recommend it, and that is not a business tool unless you have a business Cash App account. But if you have PayPal, if you have Square, if you're using Stripe, they all have you have records in your back office. Every single transaction goes through there. So you should know, you should be able to easily figure out what you made in a given month. It gross. This is before any taxes and expenses. What did you gross that month? And then put it in the table. You will have to do that for every single month in 2019, 2020, and up to June for 2021. Then the team, whoever's reviewing, your loan specialist will review it, and they would do a comparison and say, okay, is there a period, 8-week period or quarter, where we see that there was a 30% decrease? Yes or no? That's all they're looking for. They're not looking for the entire year. Do they see a period in comparison where you had a 30% decrease or more? Is either yes or no as they see it. Now, they may make an error. That happened to someone, so I explained to them what to do. And they did it, and they got approved. They were denied originally. They submitted a reconsideration or reevaluation and got approved. But you have to know what you're doing. So, that's why they're putting more of these outreach and these programs, this community navigator program together to really have boots on the ground assistance to help support all of the business owners and helping walk some of you all through the application processes, because, you want to be able to overcome some of these challenges. And they want you to be able to have an appeals process, which they did not have initially. Because it could be something simple that you didn't do or you missed, and you should have a chance to fix it and then resubmit it. But you want to, again, if you don't know why you were denied, which you should, because they tell you, okay, know why you're denied, and then know how to overcome that denial. You have to speak directly to why they denied you. If it's credit worthiness for the loans, then you have to speak to that. Right? So just know what they're asking for. And your grant is not based on credit. So that's another thing. So I helped someone in that regard. They were about to miss out on $15,000 because they thought, because they were denied the loan, the EIDL loan, and they got the email and just let it sit in their box. They was like, "Oh, I'm sure I don't qualify for this because they denied me for the EIDL loan." No. Whether you being denied the EIDL loan has nothing to do with if you get approved for the targeted EIDL grant. So if you're thinking that this is a good day for you, so you need to go to your email, go to that invite, and apply today. Because your credit has nothing to do with it. You've been denied has nothing to do with it. Whether you reject, you get approved, and you decide you don't want the loan, that has nothing to do with the grant. They are processed separately. Okay. Now, if you do want the loan, okay, so the loan, our EIDL loan, there is still available. It is a longer term, right? 30-year maturity rate, 3.75%. For for-profits, 2.75%. For nonprofits, to get a loan, to be able to a disaster loan. That is an EIDL loan through December 31st. You have the ability to do that. So a lot of businesses have done that. I know a lot of you all are right now. You've been funded, you have the loan, but you're waiting on the increase. So they've been processing these increases very slowly, because again, they're taking these extra measures. But my goodness, some of you are waiting like many weeks and months to get increases that are needed. So that's why I want you to know that in the interim, there are PPP alternatives. If you're still waiting, there are EIDL alternatives, right? And we have them. The link is in the comments. We've been able to get so many businesses funded now. Businesses need money now. And you continue to wait for that money. So why not get other capital, fill in the gaps, and then once that is available, then you can start using that money. But we don't want your business to close before you have a chance to get the funding. So again, if you know businesses out there, especially in the restaurant industry, some of these tougher industries where you hear them saying they need access to capital, please share our information. It is so important. We've been able to $10,000, $5,000 can help keep a business open. You may think there's businesses that need, hundreds of thousands or millions, but the good majority need $25,000 or less to be able to accomplish their goals in their business, to be able to keep their doors open. That's just the truth. So I hope that you would share that information with them. And I would encourage you to continue pressing forward, stay, persistent in the process. Don't give up on the process. I know it's challenging. I know it's frustrating. I've been through it. So I've been able to overcome and get some of the funding too. And I'm still advocating and petitioning at my local level and state level because I see that there are areas of improvement needed for the grant programs here. Okay, so not all businesses will be getting grants under the Ohio program. So I look at those types of things and I'm like, wait a minute, but what about these other businesses that you're excluding from the grant? Right? It's not just based on sex and whether or race. They're excluding businesses that don't have W-2 employees. They exclude independent contractors. They exclude businesses that may have a home-based business. So I look at these different things, and you should look at those different scenarios in your state, and then call them and inquire, like, where is the fairness? And it's important that they make sure that there is relief for all businesses. All businesses need relief. All businesses need relief. So you have to be able to speak up for yourself in that regard. Now, I believe tomorrow I'm going to be doing a video on different relief programs that are out there. I'm going to recap them again. So we talked about a lot of them here. One of them I didn't talk about again, just a reminder for childcare providers. There's childcare block grants for you at the state level. Federal dollars have gone to those programs to fund those. So reach out to your state health agency and get those grants. Those are being administered by the Health and Human Services and not the SBA. But that's important because I know a lot of child care providers. I know a lot of child care providers that need funding too. So, go after the grant and whatever other funding that you may need as well. But these are the programs that are available. There's more like debt relief. So I will be recapping those. And then I believe on Wednesday, I'll come on and really walk through why you need capital, how capital can help you in your business. Every business needs capital to survive, to be able to grow, to be able to scale. You need capital. When I started my business, I started with very little money, because I have a consulting business, started out from my home. So I don't have a lot of overhead, but I needed to grow. I needed to build a team. I needed to spend marketing dollars. I needed to spend money on ads and things like that. So that takes capital in order to be able to do it. I had to get more robust technology for some of the things initiatives we're rolling out. That takes capital to be able to do that. And so I want to make sure you all know the different options that are available. I have videos on how to find free money for your startup, different funding opportunities, like in addition to PPP and EIDL, what other types of fundings that are out there. Go watch those videos at your leisure. So you know that these programs are out there, because still too many businesses that don't know that these programs even exist. They have no clue. They don't even have a clue about the SBA programs because nobody's telling them. Nobody's sharing the information. They're just so deep in trying to save their business, and they just don't know where to go to find the information. I would encourage you also, if you are not linked into your local SBA office, please get connected. If you're not linked into your local small business development center, get connected. Urban league centers, women business centers. I'm linked into all of these different resource centers in my local area. You may find additional grant opportunities there. They definitely have more additional resources, can help you if you're with your strategy, with your business planning, with your financials. So, it's not even a matter of if you don't have money to do it. These organizations are funded to be able to provide you with free resources. That's another reason why they have the $100 million Community Navigator pilot program that is actually, they're accepting applications right now. So if you are one of those that support small business owners, you have an organization, 501c3 organization, I would encourage you to apply, because they're going to need community navigators. And the applications, I believe they close on July 2nd and July 12th. So I did a video specifically on that program. And then when that rolls out, then the other business owners, entrepreneurs will be able to take advantage of those programs and get more help that they need to get access to the SBA programs. SBA also has 2 other grant programs, which I did videos on. I'm actually working on a collaboration with one of them. They have the 6th annual SBIR Accelerator Fund Grant. So if you have an accelerator program, okay, so people ask me, is this for small businesses that I'm talking about? Yes, there are small businesses that have accelerator programs, incubator programs, entrepreneurship programs that they offer to other entrepreneurs and small business owners. If that is I would highly recommend go to watch that video and apply. That is a simple application, 1 page. You need 12 slides, 12 PowerPoint slides to explain your program, answer the questions that they're asking you. Shoot your shot. That's a $50,000 grant. And then they have another one, which is the SBIR Catalyst grant. That's the one I'm going after. That is $150,000. And that is for those that have programs that, support entrepreneurs like in STEM, math, science, technology, and that supports underserved communities, right? Like women, minorities, veterans, disabled entrepreneurs, and business owners. If that is you, I would encourage you again to go check that out as well. Because all businesses are different, but there's many of us that are consultants, coaches. We have academies that support the small business communities. Those are the ones. If that is you, these programs are. I would go after these grant programs. Partner up with other people. Go start collaborating. Right. We're always open up to collaboration. We decided not to go after the Community Navigator grant. Just because is more complex, right? If you know the standard grant process is more lengthier, is a lot more involved. We decided to go the simpler route and target you. That's what you have to do. You have to be strategic. Go after the ones you can, build your portfolio, and then let that lead you to more grants and higher funding, grants with higher funding, right? In the millions of dollars. So that's our goal. But we know where we want to start in a partnership. So if you are interested in a collaboration, please feel free to email us at hello@shebosstalk.com. And let's see what opportunities are out there for us to build and find other like-minded, committed individuals. Do your due diligence. Make sure you sign those agreements, right? And then go after those different collaborative efforts, because there's definitely billions of dollars out here that is available for small business, whether it's grants, whether there's contracts in the government space, corporate space. I would encourage you all, no matter what type of business you have, there are opportunities for both for your business. So if you have not explored that, definitely explore it. We have resources and tools to help accelerate the process to be able to get to those contracts, those grant dollars quicker. Okay. So I hope this has been beneficial to you. Stay the course, keep the faith, stay proactive in your business, and feel free if you need some help, if we can provide it. We have a network of professionals that we're happy to refer you to. But don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't stay on the struggle bus, because there is plenty of help. If you need to start with the YouTube video, subscribing to our channel and watching our videos, start there. Start where you are and then build up. But get connected. That's why we stay on the struggle bus, because we're connected. We just continue to work in isolation. Get the help that you need to move your business forward. And we want to continue to be here to support you in building your business, because we're in the business of building empires, right? We want to build wealth, and we want to build legacy, and we want to make a big impact on the world. And those are the people the businesses, the entrepreneurs that we're here to help. So thank you so much. Continue to be the boss with amplified impact, and continue to stay safe and in good health. Have a wonderful day.